In today's video, I am super excited to be releasing version 2 of the Wicked Stencil plugin. And yes, it does do automatic bridging. So in today's video, I'll be showing you that feature along with all of the other new features and going through a little bit of a walkthrough of how I would create stencils with these new features. So first of all, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's volunteered to help me test it out so we could actually make sure it was fast enough and ready for release. So let's jump onto my computer and show the rest of you guys how you can update your version to the latest. So first of all, go to your Creative Cloud desktop. If you go to the Home, and then on the right here, you'll notice your installed plugins. Go there and you'll see the Wicked Stencil plugin where you have it installed. You'll probably see you've got version 1 installed. All you need to update is go uninstall, and then reinstall, and by default it will go to the latest version. So now that you've got that installed, you can go into Photoshop, and I've got images I'll be testing here today. One will be this image of Rihanna. So let's get our Wicked Stencil plugin open. So if you open it up, you'll notice that everything looks quite familiar, especially if you've used it before. And the first main feature I've updated is presets for each number of layers. So every time you choose a different number of layers, you'll have the thresholds already in the right place. So regardless of how many layers you want, it should look really good right off the bat. So all you'll need to do is choose how realistic you want to make it. For this image, let's make it a bit more realistic. We probably won't go all the way down to 0, but usually I go down to about 1.5, and that always looks really good for me. Depending on how dark or light your images are, you can always go back to your thresholds and just fine tune it just that little bit. And then below that, the adjustments for the corner markers are still the same. So let's adjust those quickly so we can get them a bit closer to our image and we don't waste so much material. The padding does the same thing. You can just fine tune it a little bit as well. I think that's looking pretty good. And another feature I missed in version 1 was the marker scale. So now you can actually choose how big or how small you want them to be. I might make these a little bit smaller, and we can move them in a little bit closer as well. Now we can go through the most anticipated feature that I've just included, which is the automatic bridges. And you might notice it's already ticked, but you don't see any bridges. Well, there is a tiny little bug I couldn't fix, and that is that you have to kind of click it a couple of times to get it working. So click it again, it's off. Click it again, and you'll notice a few red lines appear in your preview, and these are your automatic bridges, and I think they are looking pretty damn good. Now with the automatic bridging tool, there are a couple of sliders, so you have a little bit of adjustment, but not too much. I found that the more adjustment I created for the automatic bridging, the slower it would run, and it would just take longer to compute. So I've kept it super simple and super basic. The first slider adjusts the thickness of your bridges, which I think this one needs to be a bit thicker. So let's go to maybe 6, and that's looking nice and thick, which will create a nice strong stencil for us. And the next slider is the minimum island size. So that's like the size of the islands you wanted to connect to. So for this one, we'll go down to maybe around 40. And by the looks of the image, I'm getting lots of bridges, so that should be nice and strong. And then bridge inner islands, there's a little checkbox for that. So if you take that off, all it should do is create bridges from the outer area to the inner islands. And then if you switch that on, it should bridge between inner islands and connect everything to make like a really strong stencil. So once you're happy with all your settings, click OK, and it will export all of your stencils nice and quickly for you. So let's go through and see how awesome this little automatic bridging tool is. So if we go down to our base and look at our black layer, so you'll notice that it's created quite a few bridges, and I think they're actually all in the right place. Because if you look at the main island on the face here and through the black areas, what it's done is it's created 3 bridges in really key areas in opposite places. So one at the top, one at the bottom, and one through the side, which should create a really strong stencil once you go to cut this out. And even through these details through the side here, it's created some really key bridges through there. One bridge for the button, which I think is a bit questionable. Personally, I'd want to create another one. While you don't have the adjustment to add that, you still can go through and do that by hand if you're not happy with the bridges. So you can always add more if you feel like it's necessary. And this automatic bridging tool doesn't do everything for you, but for anyone that's sort of new to creating stencils and doesn't know how to bridge at all, I feel like this is a great stepping stone and a really good solution to doing something you otherwise wouldn't know how to. So now let's go through and check some of our other layers as well. And I think it's done a great job on this layer. It's connected the eyes and then the eyes to the nostrils and then back out again. So I think that's some pretty good placement. The only bridge I might add is one through the middle here. Let me just add it so you can see what I'm talking about. Just like that to make it even stronger so these parts don't go flappy side to side. Through the mouth, it's connected that, the lips, the bottom chin area. And I think that's a pretty good layer. I'd be happy to cut that. And then this one is also really good. It's connected the eyes. It's connected each side of the lips, which I think is perfect. That's exactly what I would do. And then it's gone and connected the nostril to the lips as well. So I think that's pretty good placement of the bridges, and for something that does it automatically without user input, I think that's a pretty good starting point. Next one, I think this one's pretty good too. Each side of the lips, one to the nostrils through the eyes. Maybe a little bit of messy here, so maybe I'd adjust that a little bit. And then this one's looking really good because it's connected the eyes to each side of the nose, one to each side of the lips. I'd say that's perfect. One to each side of the nose, to the eyes. I think that's great too. That's super strong. And these upper layers don't even need bridges, so it hasn't created any. That's perfect. So one thing you'll also notice the automatic bridging tool doesn't do yet is create the base layer for you. That's still something you have to go and do by hand. Otherwise, if you paint it as it is, you'll notice that some of the bridges will be visible. So if you want to make it a little bit more discreet, what you can do is something I always teach in each of my how-to lessons is move your black to the top, take your gray layer and make that your base layer. So an easy way to do that is go back to your reference image, and where's my magic wand tool? Just create a really nice tight selection of your image. Inverse that, switch that off, select your base layer, select the color, get a nice big brush and fill that in. So now when you go to actually paint this, you'll paint this layer first, which will be encompassing all of your layers. And then you can paint the others on top of it, almost like layers of a cake. And then once you switch them all on, it should come out looking really good with maybe just minor adjustment here and there. Now you will notice that some of the bridges are visible, and in the code of this, it doesn't actually try to hide them for you. I found that slowed things down way too much, and it just wasn't possible to do within Photoshop. However, now that this plugin is pretty much done, I'm going to move on and create something outside of Photoshop for you guys, which can do much heavier and complex calculations and can probably actually hide those bridges and create much better bridges. So that's something to look forward to as well. But as a starting point, I think this is awesome. So anyway, that is a new plugin for Photoshop. I encourage you guys to all try it out. Hopefully it helps you guys create some incredible stencil and helps you guys take your stencil out to the next level. And if you have any issues, please send me a message. And if you have any ideas for more improvements, leave them down in the comments below because you know I read them. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.